Star 1013.
I want to talk music right now. The EP is out.
Mm-hmm. Two
Came out-
EPs.
Two EPs.
Two EPs. The first one came out last year, and the second one came out just a couple months ago.
It was the one, I'm speaking specifically about the one that came out in April. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Slow Dancing.
Right. And there's only like five
songs.
How many didn't make the cut?
There were a couple that we kind of left. It's interesting because I've been making my album for so long. I'm making a full length right now. We're almost done.
Okay.
And I've been making it for so long that some of the songs on the EP are going to be on it, and a bunch of songs that are on the album didn't make the EP. So it's kind of like, I think the full-length album that's coming out this fall definitely kind of is a good overview of everything that I've done in the last kind of year of my life, because it's from a couple, like 2 songs from the first EP, a couple songs from the second EP, and then the rest is totally new material.
And the one that has taken off on YouTube all of a sudden out of nowhere, 12 million views, Somebody Loves You, was that meant to, did you write it as a dance song, an acoustic song? How did it start? Like, tell us about it.
Somebody Loves You initially started as an electronic dance song. You know, we wrote like the duh, duh, duh. We wrote that. We were listening to a bunch of Whitney Houston because she had just passed away.
Okay.
And so Peter, my producer, and I were sitting in his basement of his parents' house in Rhode Island, which is where I made the entire first EP, and I made the whole second EP pretty much in his bedroom in LA, and I made most of the album in his bedroom in LA.
Nobody knows about the non-glamorous behind the scenes stuff.
I'm literally just in his house in the valley, and it's like 110 and their AC isn't working, or we have to turn it off while I'm recording vocals in his bedroom, so I'm like sweating in his house, like basically in like shorts and a bra, singing the vocals for this album. So it's definitely not glamorous. But we were making this song, and we were talking about how great Whitney Houston was, and how, you know, her music was filled with joy, and it was like emotional, and it's not just like Find Me in the Club, you know. So like that part of her and music in the 80s I really love. You know, Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, they're all huge influences to me. As just like growing up, those are the people that I went and found and fell in love with. Sure. And I was like writing this song, and it was kind of like a breakup song for me initially. And I was kind of writing about this guy that I used to date who never really gave me enough credit for like being really supportive of him. And he kind of just like wanted to wallow and like not pay attention to me.
He was 5'6", wasn't he?
He was actually 5'9". Oh. I know. I don't
and
think
you never wore flats, did you? Selfish.
I know. The only time I've ever dated somebody who was taller than me, he was 6'7", and it was like the weirdest experience for me.
I thought you were going to tell me it was glorious.
No, I mean, it was great, but also I was kind of like, I'm not used to this. Is like very weird.
You guys walk around all the time looking for a volleyball game?
Well, it's funny too, because when we were going to high school together and we were friends for forever, and people kept on being like, are you two going to get together yet or what? And I was like, what do you mean? And it's kind of like waiting for the only two like gigantic people at the school to get together. Everyone was like, so you're gonna date now? And I'm like, we're just friends. And then like, yes, we ended up dating, because like, how can you not when there's like a girl who's almost 6'2", everybody else is this big.
Right. For the first time ever, prom was like this.
I know, it was nice. It was really great. Slow dancing was nice with him. No, it was
to quote Carrie Bradshaw on Sex and the City, we just like to be in the nook. We just like to cuddle.
The Nook is the best. Also, I'm the biggest Sex and the City fan in the whole world, so we really
you
are
just
best
met
friends.
the other one. I'm just gonna go.
You could just leave. Thanks so much. No,
it's been real. It's been real.
No, I really do. It's I never get to be. I live in New York now, and I never get to be in New York ever because I'm always on tour. And since I've moved in a year ago, I've probably been there accumulatively less than a month, just because I've been traveling so much. And like, I'm always there for 3 or 4 days at a time, and it's just like kind of like a tease, you know, like going home and being like, oh, look at this beautiful city I live in, and having to like live out of a suitcase in your own apartment because you leave again a couple days later.
So say you blink and you're in Omaha.
Yeah. So I basically just like keep watching Sex and the City to
see
like
your home.
pretend like I'm living there still, which is what I did before I moved there.
You gotta go on the tour
so
the
it's
next
kind of
time you have
sad.
extended time there. The bus tours.
Oh my gosh.
You've officially met your soulmate.
I was in Arizona. I have to tell her this quick story really quick. I was in Arizona a couple months ago, and I got a massage, and it was the same day the celebrity fight night was at this hotel. Anyway,
that's crazy.
I know.
What?
Random.
Celebrity fight night? That's crazy.
It's something I don't understand. but so I got a massage, and right after me, 10 minutes, the same room. I go downstairs. They go, "Oh, do you know who came in right after you?" Aiden from Sex and the City.
No.
The same bed, the same girl. I'm like,
I cannot handle it.
I cannot even believe it. I always thought that Carrie should have been with Aiden and not Big.
Really?
Yeah, I was always an Aiden fan.
I
with
think he's
Pete,
adorable.
his dog, he was perfect.
Oh, I
loved
know.
Aiden.
I know. I love the dog, but I thought Aiden was kind of boring.
I loved him.
Really?
What
What do you think?
Yeah,
know you watch
loves it. Loves it. I do watch
Let's
it.
watch Sex of the City.
Yeah. what do you mean?
My Sex and the City story is very quick. My wife and I were on our honeymoon. We were headed to Bora Bora, and my wife is very sporty. She's
Okay.
like Sporty Spice, right?
Yes, I love that.
And
solid Spice Girls reference.
we were watching our respective backs of our seats, right? Watching the satellite, and I look over. She's watching the Michigan Fab Five story because she's a big
Okay.
Chris Webber fan. This is
Okay.
basketball, right? College basketball. And she looks over, and I'm watching the Sex and the City marathon.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm actually far more down with Sex
So
and the
you're
City.
far more down.
I am.
Speaking of basketball, what do you think about the Miami Cleveland whole thing that just happened?
did that get announced?
You're so upset.
Did that get
She's
announced?
So
Is he
upset.
on his way?
He's going to Cleveland.
King James is on his way.
King James is
Did
on
you
his way to
see
Cleveland.
Sandy just completely glazed
I don't know
over?
anything about sports.
My friend is a huge Heat fan. She's like absolutely obsessed, and she. I don't have Facebook. I don't have like a personal Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I am on Facebook, Betty Who, but my like personal world, my friends, is just
Right,
like,
right.
too much work, and I don't care. Like they can text me if they want, and so she sends me like it's 4 screenshots of
Mm-hmm.
her open letter to LeBron that she wrote on her Facebook, and I was like, "It's bad that he's leaving the Heat, right?" And she was like, "Let me educate you,"
Oh,
and she
boy.
sent me these screenshots,
boy.
and it's this long open letter, and she is so. Pardon the pun, heated in this.
See what you did there.
I did. Thank you. I am a writer. It was just like so intense, and she was, oh my God. Basically, she's saying like, people in Miami have dreams too, and like you're leaving us for Cleveland because you want to like inspire the people there, but like we need to be inspired too. And I was like, are you okay? Everything's gonna be fine. And then she like
take a walk.
yeah, and then she spent like 5 minutes explaining to me that like, well, it's not goodbye Miami yet because like we have a couple, and you know this person's gonna bring in this guy, and I'm like, I don't. Then I glaze over too. I'm like, it's once the drama is past, I don't care.
Have they started the hashtag Save LeBron yet?
I'm sure. I'm sure she was the one who started it.
At some point.
Oh my gosh, it's
God, we could
nightmare.
talk about
Kind
this
of cute when
forever.
people get so into it, though.
It is,
just
especially
turned-
boys. Especially
Yes.
watching boys get into it. You're like, how cute are they?
We just turned into Sports Center for the first time ever on this show.
My
Welcome,
gift.
Don't
ladies.
say it can't
Sex-
be done.
I would also like to say that probably the only time in this world has somebody successfully segued between Sex and the City and sports.
Let's get some pounds
That's
on that.
right.
That's good
I'm
work.
included in the pounds.
That's good work.
3 pounds. I'm so excited for you. I'm just excited for your life
Thank
and all the
you.
cool things that are happening. And I know you're going on tour with Katy Perry soon.
I am. Yeah, I'm opening for Katy Perry actually in Australia for a month in November. Help, I got it.
How do you hook that up? Who
I know,
does
I was
that?
just gonna
Who
say.
brokers that deal?
Actually, her manager, from what I understand, Katie and her manager had discussed how like Katie was a fan of my music and that it would be very cool for me to go on tour with her. So Bradford reached out to my manager Ethan and kind of just like planned and talked about it for a while, I think. And I didn't know anything because he didn't want to like tell me like, by the way, like Katie's a huge fan, and once he didn't want me to get excited if he was like, oh,
If
we're
it's
gonna
not
have
gonna
somebody
happen.
like much bigger open or whatever.
Sure.
Because it's definitely like a huge opportunity for me because the other kids who are opening are like Tegan and Sarah, who I'm obsessed with.
They're great, yeah.
Capital Cities,
Sure.
Becky G. It's a bunch of people who like definitely are bigger than me. So it was very cool. My whole band and I were in Vancouver on tour in March. And we're all laying in bed together. No. My tour manager comes in and she gets us all and she's like, come to my room. Ethan needs to Skype with you. It's really serious. Like, you have to come with me. And I was like, somebody's dead. Or like, he's quitting. Or like, something crazy is happening. But I
Right.
thought it was all bad because she was very serious about it. And so I go into her room and my whole band is already laying in bed together, and it's like 7 a.m. and we had like a 12:30 show or something. So it's so early, and I'm like, why are you waking me up? I crawl into bed with them. They're all like, come here, and we're all like holding each other. And Ethan's on Skype, my manager sitting in front of us, and I'm
Right.
like, what do you want? It's early. Like, I want to go back to bed. And he's like, hey, how are you guys? And I'm like, talk faster. And I don't know, but my tour manager is filming us like with her phone right here, so we can't like really see. So she's filming the whole thing, and he's like, I just wanted to be together. I wanted to tell you in person, kind of, that we have officially booked you to open for Katy Perry. And you see in the video my tour manager has, my head go, what? I'm like, and I'm like, because I was laying down, and I was like, what do you? And he was like, in Australia. And we all start like, oh my God. And we're all freaking out because I've never played a show in Australia.
Really?
Never. And I'm, born and bred,
Right.
and I have never played a show there. So my first show officially in Australia will be opening for Katy Perry in like a 20,000 person arena.
That
So
is
your accent is going to be
amazing.
super thick. When
So
you're
by the time I get
super
back,
thick.
I'll be truly Australian.
You are going to be the
Totally.
crocodile hunter.
Right, exactly.
Very excited. So the EP is out now. There's 2 of them.
2 EPs.
The latest one is called
Slow Dancing.
Thank you.
The first one is The Movement. The second one is Slow Dancing.
Correct. Very excited about that. The new album comes out. Do we know when?
We
Working on it
we
now?
don't yet officially. I'm working on it now. Almost finished with it. The time is late September, early October.
And you're going to be in the Bay for a couple of appearances, right? The AIDS
I
Walk,
am.
yeah?
I'm playing at the AIDS Walk next weekend, which is
Okay.
going to be so great. I'm so excited because it's just like something that I love so much, and it's a
Yeah.
very cool place to be for me, I think.
And then you're playing the Fillmore.
I am. I'm so excited.
She's never been.
Screw Australia.
Never
You're playing
been
the
to
Fillmore.
I know. One of my best friends in the whole world, she was my roommate in college, is from San Francisco.
Right.
And she was like, "Where are you playing in San Fran?" And I was like, "Let me double check." I was like, "I think it might be the Fillmore." She goes, "Shut up." And I was like, "Oh
You
my
have
God,
to know.
you're yelling at me."
You have to know.
I know.
So I saw you tweet about the Troubadour and how classic that venue
my
is
gosh.
to LA. The
So it's
Fillmore
like round 2.
is are probably one of our most storied venues.
Oh, if not the most
You're gonna feel like a
historic.
rock star.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
There
I'm
are.
gonna come out just like shirtless, playing a guitar or something,
Absolutely.
sweating.
Make sure you
Start
go
shirtless.
upstairs.
Who knows
Smoking
what's
on
going to happen by
stage.
the end?
Right.
Here's what happens, right? If we sell out the show, everybody gets a poster at the
I
end.
heard.
You know
That's what
about that?
I was hearing. Yeah.
You can't leave until the artist is done singing, so you can't just grab your poster and head for the Muni. But here's the other thing: if you go upstairs, there are framed posters of every show of every group that's ever played
my
there, and
God.
it's everybody.
Wow.
It's like a museum almost.
The Grateful
It's really
Dead,
cool.
Nirvana, Pearl Jam,
So cool.
everybody up to like Maroon 5 and everybody.
I'm so excited. It's very cool. I've played a couple of like very iconic venues like all over the world, kind of. Particularly the Troubadour for me was very big because
Right.
I'm like a huge Carole King fan.
Sure.
So it was very cool for me to like be in this place where like her story is, you know. So that was very cool for me. And then the Fillmore is going to be insane. And then when I was on tour in the UK a little bit earlier this year, I was at King Tut's in Glasgow. And it's like the place. So the story, I'm obsessed with the 1975, the
Yeah.
band. Love them so much. Think they're amazing. And they are from the UK. And so the guy told us as we were walking up, I was like, the 1975 just played here like a year ago, whatever. And the promoter was like, well, you know, the first time the 1975 came, nobody showed up. And that's like, I mean, there were probably like 40 people. It's like a 250 person venue. I didn't have any music out in the UK. So like 40 people who were very internet savvy basically showed
Right.
up. And they were all like diehard fans and they were so cool. And I was like, this is incredible that I'm playing a show in Glasgow where like nobody knows who I am and you showed up anyway. So that's very cool. And he was like, the 1975 played here and nobody showed up. And the second time they came back, it was sold out like
Yeah.
an hour after we put it on sale.
That's fantastic.
And he was like, that's going to happen to you. And I was like, fingers crossed, babe. Let's not jinx it. But yeah,
Looking forward to seeing you and the Michigan hometown show too. I'm sure that's going to be
that's
exciting
going to be
for you.
very, very cool.
Thanks for joining us. We could talk forever, but I think the hard drive on the cameras are full, so we have to stop.
We ran out. Nobody's filming us anymore. We're actually just hanging out.
We're just talking now.
Looking forward to see you on the road.
Thank
Congratulations.
you very much. Thanks, you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.